Good evening, Mr. Kelsey. David started and looked at her. He didn't know her. Good evening, he replied, automatically smiling a little, then looked in front of him again. After a moment, the girl said, "Are you always so quiet?" He looked at her again. She wasn't a cheap girl, he thought, just an ordinary girl. "I suppose so," he said shyly, and dragged the mug of coffee toward him. "You don't remember me, do you?" she said with a laugh. "No, I don't." "I'm staying at Mrs. McCartney's too," she said through a wide smile. "She introduced us Monday night. I've seen you every night in the dining room, but I have breakfast earlier than you do. My name's Effie Brennan. Glad to meet you for the second time." She gave a nod that made her light brown hair bounce. "Glad to meet you," David said. "Sorry my memory's so bad." "Maybe for people. Mrs. McCartney says you're a whiz of a scientist." "Thanks, Sam." She bent over her chocolate, smelling its vapor, and though David did not glance at her, he was aware that she wiped her spoon surreptitiously with her paper napkin before she put it into the cup, and that she played with the dollop of whipped cream, turning it over and over with the spoon and the chocolate. "You weren't by any chance at the movie tonight, were you, Mr. Kelsey?" "No, I wasn't." "You didn't miss much, but I like practically any kind of movies, I guess. Maybe it's not having a TV set anymore. The girls I was living with before had one, but it belonged to the girl who moved out. I had one at home, but I haven't been home in 6 months. To live, I mean. I'm from Ellenville. You're not from here, are you?" "No, California." "Oh, California," she said with awe. "Well, Froudsburg isn't much, I guess, but it's bigger than what I'm used to, which isn't saying much, of course." She smiled her big smile again. She had large, square front teeth and a rather thin face. "I've got a nice job here. I'm a secretary in a lumber yard. Depews? You probably know it. I had a nice apartment, but one of my roommates got married, so we had to give the place up. Right now I'm looking for another apartment I can afford. I can't say I'd like Mrs. McCartney's on a permanent basis." She laughed. David didn't know what to say. "Would you?" she asked. "Oh, it's all right." She sipped again, bending low. "Well, maybe for a man. I don't like this business of sharing bathrooms. Have you been there long?" "A little over a year," David said, feeling the girl's eyes on him, though he did not look at her. "Gosh, then I guess you must like it." Other people had said the same thing to him. Everyone, even this girl who had just come to Mrs. McCartney's, knew he made a good salary. Sooner or later, someone at the house would tell her what he did with his money. "But Mrs. McCartney told me you had an invalid mother to support." She knew already. "That's right," David said. "Mrs. McCartney thinks that's wonderful of you. So do I. I don't suppose you have a match, Mr. Kelsey?" "I'm sorry, I don't smoke." He raised his hand. "Sam, could you let her have a match?" "Sure thing." Sam handed David a book of matches with his free hand as he walked by. The girl held her cigarette in her mouth between two fingers with painted nails, expecting him to light it for her. But he presented the book of matches to her with a smile. Then he laid a dime down on the counter and slid off the stool. "Well, good night. Just a sec and I'll walk with you. That is, if you're going home." David said nothing, trapped. He found himself opening the sliding door for her. She was talking again, something about coming to the diner for her coffee breaks because the lumberyard wasn't far away. She chattered on, and David pretended to listen. She asked him what kind of consulting work he did at Cheswick Fabrics, and he replied that that meant various competitors came to snoop around the factory and find out, for instance, the formula of the rinse they used for the plastics. "Aw, I bet you're kidding. Mrs. McCartney said you were the head of Cheswick, and people have to come to you instead of you going to them, because your company can't spare you for a day." The girl ran on, her voice loud and clear in the sleeping street. "I don't know where she got that. A man named Lewison is the head of it. I'm just the chief engineer, just a chemist."